welcome to another episode of Weekly Dose of K-Culture. My name is Alexi and this is my, let's say sidekick for today. Anyway, as some of you may already know, I've been a massive fan of K-pop. I'm actually really crazy about them. And I remember back when I was 13 years old, just liking my first K-pop group, which was H.O.T. and then 2GEXKISS. So you can tell I've been through so many years of loving K-pop. So I've been through so many idol groups as well. So the first thing you realize about K-pop group is their appearance, of course, and their ability to sing and dance. So myself, I never thought about what their name might signify or what is the meaning behind those names, because I'm always so indulged with looking at their pretty faces and looking at their slick dance moves too. Then quite recently, about a couple of days ago, I did come across a TV show where NCT 127 was talking about the group and where their name comes from. And I thought, wait a minute, it'll be a really exciting topic to do a research on, like the meaning behind the K-pop name, and also just to share with you guys all. So I compiled a list of names like this, and I wanted to really go through them, talk to you about their meanings, as well as some of the names that they had prior to their debut. So let's get started. So I'm just gonna have the paper rested on my sidekick's head so you can see it. So first up we have 17. So if you watch my 17 special, you already know the answer to what the meaning behind the name is. So it is 30 members divided amongst 3 units, which makes them one team. So if you add all of the numbers together, it's 13 plus 3 plus 1, that is equals 17. Quite easy, right? And I personally think it is really awesome name. I think that's because I love the group, but at the same time, it actually make people ask me, oh, do they have 17 members then? And then the curiosity builds on top of that. So it's really good name. I personally believe so. And then secondly, it's a girl group that's becoming really massive these days, called TWICE. So you can guess where their name actually comes from, but you know, it means they're going to really entertain you and make you happy twice. Once visually, because they're all very pretty, and secondly musically, with their good music techniques and style, and also dancing as well. So I actually do prefer writing their name like this in Korean. So I do have like English name and then the Korean name underneath. So if you want them for the reference, here they are. And third group is another girl group, and I do recognize them more as 우주소녀, but they are in English it's called Cosmic Girls. So there are two stories behind where their name comes from, and one of the story is they actually want to become the best girl group in the entire space, where there is no limit on space or time. But then another story is all of the members have different star signs, so hence they're the girls from space, cosmic girls. So 우주소녀. So I think when I first heard the name, to be honest, I actually laughed at it because I was like, oh, it's so funny. But it's just growing on me. So a lot of names actually grew on me. So I think this is one of the group that actually began to impress me with their like styles and like reality show styles and etc. So that's very interesting. And then I have 2PM. They actually have a relation to another group called 2AM. I will explain one by one. I'll start with 2PM first. So 2PM actually makes up makes music that is best suited for 2PM, which is a dance music and very upbeat music. So their name actually represents the style of music that they make. So I never actually write their name in Korean like this. This was actually the first time, so I prefer writing like this. And then next group is their brother group called 2AM, and they make all of the ballad music that is most suitable for 2AM, where you're most emotional. So it was very creative of Park Jin-young to make that name. And next group, I recognize the group more with Korean name, but this is okay. So in Korea, a lot of K-pop groups have abbreviation of different words jumbled together to make a group name, and I think MBLAQ is one of the biggest example for that. So MBLAQ actually, their their name actually means Music Boys Live in Absolute Quality. So again, I don't know what they're trying to say. I think they're trying to say they're the group of boys that sing the best songs, but it's just too many words jumbled together. So I actually prefer seeing their name again in Korean than English, because every time I see their English name, I am reminded of how many words that has jumbled together. So yeah. Then speaking of abbreviated words, I have another group. This is UKISS, and I have a friend whose cousin used to be a member of UKISS, which is Dongho, and I couldn't really say anything negative about the group in front of him. But then, to be fair, I did love the group when I was growing up because their songs are very dancey and very upbeat. So their name, though, it's divided into parts and sections. So the U actually has two meanings. One's meaning you, and the other one meaning ubiquitous. And the KISS, it's not just a kiss. It can be if you want to think about it that way, but KISS actually is abbreviation for Korean International Idol Superstar. But then you might have quoted that it doesn't really make sense. If it's abbreviation Korean International Idol Superstar, it should be KIISS, right? So where is the missing I then? But anyway, they're trying to say they will become the international superstar just for you. So that's where the UKISS actually comes from. And then one name I actually find really unique and interesting is 2NE1. I actually really love this name. So it's also divided into portion. So 2NE1 is a 21st century, and NE actually signifies new evolution. So new evolution, 2NE1 is a unique, new style of music in the new century and etc. So I prefer writing it this way, in English way, but I never get it right because every single time I either write it in capital letter for NE or one capital letter, one small letter, and just thinking, wait a minute, that looks weird. So I think this is the first time I wrote it correctly because I did research it priorhand. So I did a lot of research just for you guys. Another name that I find very unique is B1A4. I actually love the name when it's written like this, but the meaning is quite interesting. So they did appear in a TV show before in Korea, and they were asked where does your name or your team name comes from, and they answered it's actually they're made out of 5 members, and they have one member with the blood type of B, and another members with blood type A. So 4 members with blood type A. So 1 blood type B, 4 blood type A. So that's where their name comes from, and it's very unique for a group to have like just 4 members or most of the majority of the members with blood type A, because blood type A is quite I think the least number of people have blood type A in my in my observation. So they wanted to really bring that uniqueness out. But I have to say it's quite a funny way of making their name. And then people started making joke about their name, and they say, oh no, our name actually means be the one and all for one. So it should be B1A41 in that case. But anyway, they try to make up different stories as to how their name comes about. I never write their name like in Korean, so I do prefer to write it in English. Next up is another band who came to New Zealand before, and it's BAP. So I do have a really unique tie to this group because I have a friend who works for this group as a backup dancer. And also I used to love Bang Young-gun so much even before he debuted. And his pre-debut name was actually Jeb Blackman. So I used to call it Jeb-gun, and Kun is like a title that you put for a younger brother or a boy. So I used to be like Jeb-gun, but now he's just Bang Young-gun. But anyway, the BAP actually is an abbreviation of 3 different words: best, absolute, perfect. So when I first saw BAP, I was like, oh, that's really, really cool. I like the sound of it. But then when I found out the meanings, I wasn't really too impressed. But then my friends actually make fun of me and say, oh, their name actually means Bob, as in like rice. So yeah, I've been teased a lot when I was following this group. Another group is B2B, and B2B actually means born to beat. That's why the 2 is actually capital letters, just to signify that it's an abbreviation of words. And they have a really special pre-debut name. I'm just going to talk about that later with other groups. I'm just going to put the paper down here. And VIXX. So VIXX is one of my other favorite group as well. And I actually have been very, very disappointed with the meaning behind their name, because I actually prefer how VIXX sound. So VIXX actually means voice, visual, value, and excelsis. So they asked their fans to come up with different names or words that may sound really good, and they actually added one more X behind it. But if it's voice, visual, and value, it should be VVVIX, isn't it? So where is V third? So again, their name is in dispute as to where our other 2 V's are. They also had the other pre-debut names before, so I'm just going to also put it down here because they're very, very funny. You just stick around. I really laughed so much when I first heard their name. Cool. I know a lot of you guys actually love BTS. BTS is abbreviation of the Korean name called 방탄소년단. So 방탄, so B from Bang, T from Tan, and S from 소년단. So they actually means boys in bulletproof vest. So their name actually means they're trying to protect the teenagers from all of the wrongdoings in the society. And they did have members did have names, like different pre-debut names as well. So I will share that with you later as well. You may not know of this band quite well, but this band is like a pop rock group from Korea called FT Island. And FT, so Island, you obviously know what it means, but FT actually means 5 treasures. So they have 5 members, and all of the 5 members are like jewels, like diamonds in the rock, because they're so talented. So I do write it like this, but sometimes I do write like in Korean, like FT Island. Cool. Let's move on to girl group, because I've been talking a lot of the guy groups before. So Kara, you know about Kara a lot, and Kara is not an abbreviation of words. I thought it would be an abbreviation, but actually Kara means, in Greek, it means sweet melody. So they're very good at singing, so that's where their name comes from. And I was really surprised to find that it was an abbreviation of words. Cool. And another funny name that I came across with, SG Wannabe. SG Wannabe is one of the biggest group when it comes to ballad, and I love all of their songs, and it actually moves me to tears whenever I hear their songs. So obviously you know what the Wannabe actually means, but SG actually means Simon and Garfunkel. So their full name means Simon and Garfunkel Wannabe. So they wanted to be known and loved by everybody in in Korea and New Zealand and worldwide, just like how Simon and Garfunkel did. So it's really interesting name. I think I do prefer SG Wannabe. So I normally write in Korean like this, and that's how I recognize their names. And finally, EXO. So EXO, not finally, I have a couple more. But EXO actually means it's an exoplanet. There is an actual planet called exoplanet, and they're from there, and they wanted to make a new star just like the exoplanet called EXO. So they did have a debut name before, and it's so funny. So after I found out their name, I actually wanted to call SM and just say, you know what, thank you for naming the group EXO, because otherwise it would have been so funny. Cool. And this is a group that actually motivated me to do this episode. So they're called NCT 127, and I always wonder what 127 actually means. So NTC means Neo Culture Technology. So again, abbreviation of words, you know, who doesn't do that in Korea, in K-pop culture, right? But NCT actually means a latitude of Seoul. So they wanted to bring all of the new cultures and bring everybody into Seoul and become the biggest group in Seoul in Korea, and then start spreading out to out worldwide. So thank you NCT for motivating me to do this episode. It was really fun just finding out. Then K and K. So I actually thought they are actually called K and K until I started reading about articles in Korea, and their actual name is in Korean, so it's Knaken. And Knaken actually means big, so they wanted to become a big person in the music industry. So you may recognize them as K and K, but I do recognize them more in Knaken. So I actually prefer when people start calling them Knaken, because it actually shows me that you value K-pop quite a lot, that you actually want to learn their Korean name. So same for BTS, I actually want you guys to call them more with their full Korean name, which is 방탄소년단, or Bangtan for the short. And Astro. So Astro means star in Spanish. So they wanted to really dream together with everybody that they love and become the one big star. So stardom, starship. Everybody loves to be star in K-pop. So it's a really interesting name, and I think I really like the name Astro because I do speak Spanish, so you know. Cool. And I did tell you before that I found some really unique pre-debut names that people had, right? So I just wanted to share them with you. So first of all, going back to BTOB. So I told you it was Born to Beat, right? So their pre-debut name is actually Arirang. So Arirang is like well, I actually said it in English pronunciation, but Arirang is the traditional Korean song, and that is passed down from generation to generation, and different districts and different places have different version of Arirang, and if you hear it, it actually moves you to tear, because it is a really beautiful song with rich history and rich culture, and I think that's what they were going for, but they ended up just with the name Born to Beat or B2B. So I don't know which one is better, because I do think that Arirang is a really good name to have. And then VIXX. So VIXX, you know that they're from Jellyfish Entertainment, right? So they originally asked their fans to come up with some name, and sorry, and some of the name that the fans came up with is Bluefish. Yep. Anyway, and Shison. Shison is like a glance, or and then J-Dice. I don't know what J-Dice is, but I am so happy they came up with VIXX, even though I disputed where other two V's are, but I still find that they're a really good name to have. And then members of BTS actually had pre-debut names, and I have to admit I did find it really weird when I first heard Ram Monsters, J-Hope, and Suga's name. Because I was like, oh my god, not another group with weird names. And it wasn't until they impressed me with music that I started following them. Otherwise, I wouldn't have followed them at all, because their names are so... I mean, it can be unique in a way, but I just found them so hilarious. But then, Jimin's pre-debut name, he nearly picked up is Baby G. So I'm so glad, Jimin, you actually stayed with your Korean name, because I do prefer it a lot more. And Jungkook, he's So all of the names that I found were written in Korean. So I don't know whether it has any other meanings in Korean, but it was seagull, and I'm pretty sure it's a seagull, as in, you know, the bird that flies over the ocean. So I think the name means fly like a seagull and fly freely to places and go worldwide. But I'm really glad that Jungkook actually stayed with his name as well. And then lastly, V's name was Rex. So like Rex is in Tyranno Rex. I don't know why, but it kind of sounds similar. In a way, in Korean, it sounds similar to Lexi, like Lexi Lex kind of thing. So I wouldn't mind V picking up the name Lex, but you know, I mean, I became fond of V, so I do prefer V in a way. And then EXO. EXO is one of the names that I really like, but another name that they had was M1 and M2, like R2D2. I don't know why they did that. I don't know what M1 and M2 signifies, but SM, thank you for giving the name EXO to those members. And then Beast. Beast actually had a name, pre-debut name of Sixcon, as in 6 icons, or Genghis Khan, or 300. Yeah, when I first heard the name Beast, I was like, Beast as in beast, like animal beast, and I did laugh about it, but I think it's way better than Genghis Khan and 300 because it doesn't really have a lot of significance. Big Bang, their pre-debut name was Diamond, and I am glad they picked up the name Big Bang because it has a lot more impact. Diamond is a little bit more of a girl group name, in my opinion. And other members, like the members within Big Bang, actually had pre-debut names as well. So Taesung, his pre-debut name was Big Castle. Seungri, Sonic, like Sonic the Hedgehog. Top had a name Mark. I don't really mind Mark, but Mark is now really unique because we have Mark in GOT7, Mark in NCT 127. So I'm quite glad. I am actually happy Top had the name Top. Initially I didn't really like the name, but it started to grow on me, and I mean, with a face like Top, who wouldn't love the name and the appearance, right? And Taeyang's pre-debut name was Taekwon, and like it's Taekwondo, and I don't know, Taeyang and Taekwon, both of them girls, so I'm not gonna judge. SHINee's pre-debut name was SM5, so SM plus 5 members, SM5, or Luxury Boys. So I do prefer SHINee, so go SHINee. And lastly, I have Infinite. And Infinite, their pre-debut name was Supersonic and Blackberry. Like Blackberry isn't like mobile Blackberry, I don't know. But what's with everybody wanting the name Sonic? So Seungri's from Big Bang's name, pre-debut name would have been Sonic, and Infinite Supersonic. So I do love Infinite so much, especially when it's written in Korean. So thank you for keeping the name Infinite. So it was really interesting finding about their pre-debut names and also meanings behind their name. And I did have to really stop myself from laughing so much because some of them were very ridiculous. And some of them were unique, as I have told you. So it was really fun finding out their names and meanings behind their names. And it is a really hard job coming up with a name because they will stay with them for a long period of time. And I personally think that the name determines the success a group has. So well done for everyone who came up with the name, and it was really fun talking to you guys about that. Thank you again for joining me this week, and next week I'll come up with a more interesting and exciting story. So bye, and thank you very much for joining me and my sidekick today. Bye!